one and all to the K.O.E. Nation for a very interesting spirits review of the Whistler Irish Whiskey PX Sherry Cask Finished. Folks, I am your King of Extreme Phil, K.O.E., joined by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
the Tony frickin' G. Like, share,
subscribe,
point at it.
There's nothing there. So, folks, be sure to like, share, subscribe right here at the K.O.E. Nation on YouTube and Twitch. You know it's the right thing to do. But without further ado, let's get right into this whiskey that my good friend here has been looking forward to. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, this is a brand that I have never, ever had. The Whistler Irish Whiskey. I've never touched it. Never tasted it, never smelt it. I have no incarnation what the Whistler Irish Whiskey has to offer. But I found myself in a store. I'm looking at the options that the Whistler has to offer. There were 4 on the shelf. And I went, can I really
Wait,
walk?
Was that what you were trying to do earlier, was whistle?
I was being coy. Are we really doing this? Okay. Anywho, so there's like 4 or 5 options on the shelf, and I'm like, if I'm going to try the Whistler, I've got to do the one that I think would be the best, and it's got to be the PX Sherry. It has to be. This is the most expensive on the shelf. This was the one that I know that I would probably just fangirl out over the most. Now, real quick, the Whistler. This is Irish whiskey, folks. PX, I love you. Single malt Irish whiskey. This is 46% ABV. Now, Irish whiskey has had a long love affair with Spanish sherry casks, and the single malt delves deep into the heart of their relationship. Having spent the first part of its life in ex-bourbon barrels, we finished this whiskey in some of the finest hand-picked Spanish Pedro Ximénez sherry casks.
I've had you try some Pedro Ximénez sherry.
And it is absolutely delectable. And I love me some Irish whiskey, so I have very high hopes for the Whistler. So if we're starting out on the high end,
this is gonna be different from any sherry experience you've had. Take it up to your nose. It's not. It's good. But it's
I
different.
know we're starting out on a very, very far differentiating end of Irish whiskey. So let us go. Oh goodness!
Very full nose.
Heavy in the grape.
Honestly, a little, but what I'm mostly picking up is licorice, like black licorice.
Okay.
Which you do get that with some sherried malts. There's some grape in there, like you said. Also, the slightest hint of what I would. It's not peanut butter, but it's adjacent to it.
Oh, I'm not getting that.
Maybe more like a hazelnut spread. But now I'm getting the grape the longer I stay in.
I'm stuck with the grape because...
Are you picking up any of the licorice?
Oh, 100%. Because, yeah, like black licorice, like you said, is such a lingering aroma that you can't deny that. So, yeah.
Well, very interesting stuff, Whistler.
Grape, black licorice, but this was out of the offerings that were on the shelf from the Whistler, and there were like 4 or 5, the PX Sherry Cask Finish was the high dollar option. I went with it because I love me some Irish whiskey.
And you do love yourself some sherry finishings. So
I love some sherry finish, so I figured we'd just go balls out. So let's just go whole hog.
See?
Phil, for better or worse. Very raisiny on the nose, actually. Oh shit!
That peanuttiness comes through on the back of my
I'm getting
tongue.
I'm getting the peanut butter now. Oh wow!
It's more like salted peanuts now in the mouth, but it's
Oh,
really nutty.
very nutty, but
A little bit of grape sweet on the front, but not as much.
it's not. It's not grape. It's not grape. It's the raisin. It's raisin.
There you go.
Oh, actually, that's very appealing to me. I know you're gonna shit all over this.
No, there's a slight coffee chocolatiness to it. It's actually quite delightful. So,
all right.
Now, for those who do not know, we grade this on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle up this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. The K.O.E. Nation has advised you well. So, we're going to grade this as an Irish whiskey, as a whiskey, cask-aged spirit, it's shelving, and then the secret 5th question. So, as an Irish whiskey on a 5-star scale.
As an Irish whiskey, 2.
Wow. I'm going to give it 3 stars.
No.
It's not ascendant. It's not typical. It's not something that I would like say, hey, you've never had Irish whiskey before? Here, try this. It's not typical of its type.
No.
At all.
As an Irish, yeah, exactly. As an Irish whiskey, this is not representative of Irish whiskey.
Oh, yeah, I'm starting to pick up raisins the longer I stay.
Yeah, no, and I'm dipping down in deep into my youth, and
it's all peanuts and raisins.
Yeah, peanuts and raisins, like very trail mix reminiscent. As a Irish whiskey, 2.
All right, as a whiskey.
As a whiskey, 3.5.
3.5. I'm actually going to agree with you because this is one you could put on the rocks. You could cocktail it. Wouldn't be my first choice, but you could. So I'm going to agree with you at 3.5 stars. Now,
the cask aging.
As a cask aged spirit,
I'm going to let you go first.
I'm going to stick with my previous score of 3.5 stars. I think excellent stuff. There's no age statement here. But the sherry finishing really makes it. Like, I don't think this would be nearly as intriguing without it.
As a cask age?
One, 2, 3, 4. 4 stars as a cask aged spirit.
It's niche. It does not remind you of Irish whiskey at
doesn't really remind you much of anything. It's its own animal.
This is 100% its own unique thing. This is not an Irish. This is not a whiskey. This is very, very niche. This is a 100% cask age thing, and I think it excels in that department. So I really like it in that regard.
Well, there's a little bit of discrepancy here. But hey, what can I say? Now, as we move on to its shelving, T, would you put this on the top, the middle, or bottom? I wouldn't put this on my middle, or I wouldn't put this on my bottom. I wouldn't put this on my top because it's so niche, it would sit on my middle shelf.
It is niche, and honestly, if I 110% honesty, bottom.
Ooh, ouch. Well, Tony is kind of an Irish snob, but hey, it's not a bad whiskey by any measure. We both thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just not typical of any one type. It's not even like typical of sherry finishings. It's its own animal in that regard. So now we move on to the secret 5th question. What did you pay for this bottle USD, Tony, before we move on to that question?
This is right around 50.
$50 USD. So when this bottle runs empty, will you seek another?
Of this one, no, because out of the Whistler brand, there are many, many other options. There is actually another sherry cask finished option from the Whistler that I will try beforehand, and it was like $10 cheaper. So I did start at the high end on the Whistler brand. Probably going to work my way down. This is really good. Honestly, this does appeal to me really, really well. I like it a lot. But if I'm going to be honest, on a whiskey scale, it's probably not the best. It appeals to me. Probably not going to appeal to everybody.
To me, my answer is no. I want to seek deeper into the Whistler line.
You go.
We will see where that
There
goes,
you go.
where that ends up. So, folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, this was our review of the Whistler.
Was that Robin?
Irish whiskey. I think it was actually. Folks, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. I am Phil K.O.E. of K.O.E Nation on YouTube and Twitch, joined by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
Tony frickin' G. Like, share, subscribe.
Raise a
Cheers.
glass to yourselves. I hope to find you all back here happy, healthy, much the wiser. Catch you later, folks.
Here and see if it just smooths itself out.
Get back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost, we gotta take it down. Let you down slow, it's hard to survive. El Dorado. Oh, Lord. Well, let's see how that one went.
Yeah.